So we're now going to show you how to fill in a proof of debt form. It's a relatively simple document, but a lot of people get it wrong. And so at the top of the document you will see reference to court. Now, unless there is a compulsory liquidation or a bankruptcy order or something of that nature, this aspect of the form will not be required in most cases. For the vast majority of cases will be creditors' voluntary liquidations, and such a form can ignore reference to the court and the court number as well. The starting point in such cases will be the name of the individual who's gone bankrupt or the name of the company. For the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to choose a company, and we will call that company Paul Roots Limited. Okay, and the company number, you just insert it in. Now this is the company that was gone into liquidation rather. As far as the date of the order is concerned, this only applies to a bankruptcy order or a winding up order. In the case of a creditor's voluntary liquidation, there will be no date of order. Right. You then put your name as the creditor. So, for the sake of arguments, you might be ABC Limited. Obviously, if you're an individual, you put your name as the individual. And you then put your address in. We're going to put some fictitious address, High Road, Liverpool, LS. Again, this is completely fictitious address, just to give you a general idea. Now, the important bit is, apart from identifying who you are, is the amount that you are claiming. So we'll put in a figure here, for argument's sake, £100,000. The next box, box 4, is if the amount includes uncapitalised interest. Again, for most cases that's not going to be relevant, but details of how debt incurred, let's assume for the sake of argument that ABC Limited, which is the creditor, was a construction company, so we can say undertaking construction works for Paul Roots Limited. Next box, details of any security. We're going to assume that ABC Limited is a typical unsecured creditor, in which case there will be no security, and box 6 can be left blank. Box 7 is if there have been goods supplied under a retention of title, and that they are still held by the insolvent entity. We're going to assume that doesn't apply here. Box 8, details of any documents, and so you can see here we've inserted invoice number, etc. You might also put statement number 42 blah 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 blah. You can also put something like, in the case of a construction company, there is a contract for works, or something along those lines. Now, this is the signature of the creditor. Now, this is important because in this case the creditor is ABC Limited. If it was an individual, then the signature of the individual would go here. Box 9 would have to put in any event, the signature of an authorised person on behalf of ABC Limited, which normally would be a director. So in here goes the relevant signature. Wet signature or electronic signature. Now, the address, if the person is different from the person signing in respect of this box 2 address. So if it was a solicitor signing on behalf of ABC Limited, their address might be different, for instance. When we get down to box 11, name in block letters. Now, the important thing here is not to put ABC Limited here. The name in block letters is the name of the person signing. So we're going to assume it is something like Joe Bloggs, okay, who is a director. Now, and the position director, okay. Now what that's saying is that Joe Bloggs is a director of the creditor ABC Limited that has a debt due to it by Paul Roots Limited, okay. If on the other hand, it was the case that ABC was a sole trader or an individual, okay, so we might have something like ABC and Company, for instance, as opposed to a limited company, then in this particular instance it would not be director, it would be creditor if Joe Bloggs traded as ABC and Company. The important thing is that if it is a limited company, which I will revert back to, then a limited company cannot sign. A limited company can only have an individual who signs on behalf of the limited company, which would typically be the director. And that's it.